reverse degenerative disease states. 866-735-2470 is the number for the Brightside Ben phone team. You can also head over to brightsideben.com and click on the Join the Team link. You can also purchase any of the longevity products you hear us talk about on the program or advertise on the program by calling the phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can order right off the web at brightsideben.com. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your phone calls here momentarily. We're talking about anxiety, this idea of me against you, us against them, me against you, us against them mentality. This fear mentality is a great way to shut down your body's ability to thrive. We will not be able to thrive when we're in a me against you, us against them state. When we're in a me against you, us against them state, and we're encouraged to be in this state. Everywhere you turn, this idea of fear is stuck in our heads, to be afraid of them, to be afraid of others, this dog-eat-dog adversarial cultural system where we are always in opposition to something. This cannot be an accident. Those in power, those who set this system up, have to understand that when we're in this opposition mode, we cannot maintain health. Whether this opposition mode, this adversarial system, this adversarial perspective is us against the government, or police and criminals, or customers and salespeople, or employers and employees, or whether it involves other countries. It's a way to maintain power and control in an authority trip. George Orwell wrote about this in a fictional, sort of fictional, not really fictional sense in 1984. He called it a state of perpetual war. And we are in a state of perpetual war. There always has to be an enemy in order for an authoritarian system to maintain its control. This perspective, this way of looking at the world, this us against them way of looking at the world, is reptilian in the sense that it's associated with the part of the brain that's called the reptilian brain. This is the part of the brain that's concerned with basic survival behavior: breathing, digesting, circulation, elimination, movement, and posture. These are all regulated by the part of the brain that's called the reptilian brain, and no surprise, so is what we call fight or flight. And all of this is to say that if we're looking at the world as being a threat, if we're looking at the world in this us against them fashion, we are going to be in catabolic breakdown, atrophy, shrinkage, contraction mode. I always think of the little potato bug that you stick a pin in and he curls up into a ball. That's what our bodies and our metabolism is like. It gets curled up in a ball when we're in fear. Fear is about contraction. Peace of mind, thrival, is about expansion. When we're in catabolic breakdown, contraction, atrophy, fear mode, we are not going to be able to thrive. And healing is about thriving. Reversing degenerative disease is about thriving. So when we're in this fear mode, we're not going to be able to heal. We're not going to be able to reverse our degenerative disease. In fact, it could be said that dis-ease, the word is very instructive here, dis-ease is really about fear. It's about a lack of ease. It's about a lack of thrival. We're not going to be able to experience peace of mind. We're not going to be able to experience healing, health. We're not going to be able to experience wellness when we are in fear mode. This alone should be an incentive to all of us, especially if we're dealing with degenerative disease, to wean ourselves off of this addiction to fear. And make no mistake about it, it is addictive. Fear is addictive from a biochemical standpoint. The biochemistry of fear, the biochemicals associated with fear, are biochemicals that we can become addicted to. Now, if the threat is real, that's one thing. If there's really a lion at our door, that's, obviously we got to run. If the threat is real, we got to get out of the situation. We don't have time to concern ourselves with thrival or healing or building muscle or supporting the immune system or fighting viruses. If there's a tiger around, we got to run. Viruses and bacteria and strengthening the immune system, they're for later. In other words, we're not going to be at our best from a biochemical or biological perspective when we are in this imaginary state, this imaginary fear state. Now, if we have to run, we got to run. If there's a lion around, there's a lion around. But for the most part, our fears are based on our imagination. To the extent that we're in fear for our survival, even if the threat is only imagined, we will be shrinking. we will be atrophying, and we will be in accelerated aging mode. I've been in the skincare business for many, many years, and let me tell you something. Relaxation and Thrival is the best anti-aging skin product there is. And fear, us against them, me against you, is the most powerful wrinkle-causing substance you could ever deal with, or wrinkle-causing situation or circumstance you could ever deal with. Fear is about contraction. Wrinkles are about contraction. Lousy skin is about contraction. Lousy health is about contraction. Yes, it's critical for survival, but it's kind of like your computer on safe mode. Yes, you need to have your computer on safe mode if it's messed up, and it can do the basics on safe mode, but that's going to be it. Safety, on the other hand, is about connection. It's about oneness. It's about unity, and it is associated with the healing process. We have to tell the body it's safe. We have to communicate to the body that it is safe. And in the brain, this reflection of this primal duality of fear and Thrival, in the brain, this can be thought of as two systems or two programs, two distinct computer programs. Nature has hardwired into us bioelectrical pathways, nerves, if you will, that when they're activated will produce either the sensation of fear or the sensation of love, the sensation of peace, the sensation of safety. Fear is contraction, the opposite of fear, which is love, is expansion. If you don't like the word love, safety. This is not anxiety. I'm not talking about anxiety when I talk about fear. Anxiety is a kind of low-level, sustained version, long-term version of fear. The biological wiring that's associated with fear over the course of time will link into anxiety, but fear is much more primal. This biological wiring in our nervous system links the outside world, its sights, its sounds, tastes, touches, and smells, with the brain and its extensions, the nose and the skin and the ears, and it interprets the information that's coming in as whether that information, the stuff that's coming in from the outside world, is whether it's a threat or whether it's not. If the brain determines that what it's seeing or smelling or hearing is a survival threat, it's going to initiate the physiology of fear. That is hypertension and a high blood pressure and a shutdown of the digestive system and a sense of anxiety, a sense of foreboding, and this is all going to affect various parts of the body, especially the immune system. If this fear is sustained over the course of long term, we're going to call it anxiety. Anxiety is basically the way fear feels like. The interesting thing about this sense of anxiety is that in addition to being activated from psychology, this is so important, you guys, in addition to having anxiety being activated by psychological issues, thoughts and emotions that are induced from the outside world, or jobs, or bills, or relationships, this sense of anxiety can be initiated from the body itself. This is so important because this is a place where we can control our anxiety. Our brain will read our high blood pressure and say, oh my gosh, we should be anxious now. Our brain will read our muscle contraction and say, oh my God, we should be anxious now. So if we could figure out a way to relax our muscles, we can suppress the anxiety response.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha Clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special. Infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason!
Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
The Freeze Dry Guy presents freeze-dried turkey, freeze-dried ham, and the no-bake casserole unit February sale. Listen, if you trust the Freeze Dry Guy, as thousands have for their emergency food supply since 1970, don't wait to hear how great this deal is, because it's unlimited supply. Call 866-404-3663 and ask for our new turkey and ham unit. Normal retail price $359.94. Sale price $251.94. You save $108. And it's chock full of high-quality, great-tasting freeze-dried diced turkey and ham from Mountain House, the gold standard in long-term storage products. Or get the Freeze Dry Guy's no-bake casserole unit. 153 servings per case at normal retail price of $215.94. Sale price $172.75. You save $43.19. But supplies are limited and we always pay shipping right to your door within the lower 48 states. Call 866-404-3663 and make FreezeDryGuy.com a favorite and check for monthly specials. Don't miss the Freeze Dry Guy's February sale. Call 866-404-3663 or visit FreezeDryGuy.com.
We are the premier independent talk radio network, the Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. A couple more things I want to say about anxiety issues, and tomorrow we'll just talk about some supplements, then we'll get into nitric oxide. I'm not going to be able to complete everything I want to say about anxiety here. I'll probably write about it on my blog. A guy named William James, some of you may have heard of William James. He's said to be the father of psychology, and he wrote a lot about psychological issues in the late 19th century, early 20th century. He wrote a book called The Gospel of Relaxation. You can get this book for 99 cents on Kindle. Love my Kindle, by the way. 99 cents is... It's amazing for all this information you're going to get for 99 cents from William James in The Gospel of Relaxation. Anyway, he says something very interesting. He says that we can control our anxiety from the bottom up as well as from the top down. In other words, we can control our anxiety, obviously, by changing our thoughts and how we think, our mentality, but we can also change it by changing our body, from the bottom up. So typically our thoughts will affect our body, but as it turns out, our body also affects our thoughts. How our body is positioned, for example. Our posture can affect our thoughts. Our posture can affect our anxiety. It's hard to be anxious. It's hard to be depressed if you're holding your chest out and you're holding your shoulders back, for example. Smile